Alright, hello everybody. We are back. I just have to fix this to the desktop scene in my... Oh, okay. No, don't do that. Shit. Just if I get to the desktop thing, Source looks at the right display. It just docks anything important. Okay, so I restarted the computer, tried a few things, like lowered the bitrate on the stream and stuff. Alright, fun times. Let's get back into the game. It should bring us exactly where we saved. But the next time you interrupt at an inappropriate time, you will be penalized, defendant Naruto. Shit. Don't worry. You'll have your chance to fight back. Right. For now, we must quietly... Oh, shit. The wrong voice. I'm so flustered by the internet shit, dude. Anyway. For now, we must quietly listen to the witness. Ugh.
If I may confirm one point, waiter. Standing beside the victim with a gun in his hand was the same man we see here in court today. Dude, you've got internal bleeding.
You are gonna die very soon. Yes, without question.
I see. And apart from the accused, was there anyone else standing beside the victim?
No. There was no one else around the table but the deceased Englishman and the university student. Huh? Wait, what did you just say? There was no one else around that table. What's the matter, Ryunosuke? That's just not right. When I went over to Dr. Wilson to say hello... That seems like an important detail to include. There was a woman sitting opposite him at the table. Really? That's not something the waiter could have missed. I've been warned about interjecting, but still, what should I do? We should definitely interject, because I think you said it was invalid.
Yes!
Yes! Just a moment, please. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone that day. I'm sure of it. There was a lady sitting with him at the same table.
Objection!
Dear me, what are we going to do with you? With your blatant disregard for court proceedings, I'm beginning to wonder if you're not a fraud. Could it be that the accused, this mere student, is not a real lawyer after all? Yes.
Yeah, is that even in question?
Yes.
Jake is saying there's a stream that looks better now, so that's good.
Yeah, also from my end.
I'm sure of what I saw. Hosonaga-san, is there any chance you've mistaken? Perhaps your memory of events is hazy. No. The deceased gentleman came to dine alone. I don't believe it. I actually have a rough plan at the restaurant as it was that day. Please, have a look if you'd like to. Oh, well, this is, some good evidence right here. Let me see. A sketch of the establishment's layout drawn by yourself, I presume. That's right. I'm afraid I used the back of my business card. It was a turbulent situation. However, as you can see, the gentleman in question was seated alone. Alright, I have to, open a window because it's way too hot in this room. I'm sweating as hard as the lawyer.
So as Andrew's doing that, just fun U.S. legal rules. All evidence has to be submitted before the trial, and any new evidence has to be approved and agreed upon by the court and by the prosecution defense. And everybody has to have enough time to be able to perceive and understand it. Also, whenever any evidence is called into court, you have to call in the evidence and its number or letter. And it has to be entirely recognized by the judge. So that's if this was pre-seated before the court, you'd be I want to call up evidence A13, the business card with the map on the back.
Well, get out of here with your facts, John. All right.
Yeah.
This is 1910 Japan. They're gonna play by your
With its
westernized rules.
with its state-of-the-art legal system.
Exactly. Oh my god, it's immediately like 5 degrees cooler in this room. Jake says, "Yeah, but like, objection." Well, you're clearly a very conscientious waiter. Thank you, sir. The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence. Oh, well, is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once. Of course. Here you are. It's gonna be it's gonna be a woman's business card or something. But... What was that about? He's been completely calm and collected until now. Maybe it's because he's literally dying. Well, something seems to have certainly shaken him. The waiter's business card has been entered into the court record.
So, huh?
Yeah, what is
The
that?
court has now heard of
Sorry,
something
nearby. A priestess of the case or something? Yes, at the moment the gunshot was heard in the restaurant. The only person in close proximity to the victim was the defendant on trial today.
But that's not the case.
It would seem we are looking at a black and white case here, because we haven't developed color pictures yet. Defendant Naruto. Yes, Your Excellency? If you admit your guilt at this stage, the court is willing to look mercifully upon you.
In other words, you may have some small reprieve in terms of your inevitable punishment. I call this waiter as an unsworn witness in order to explain the details of the case in court. Unsworn?
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
So in other words, he can lie.
Yeah.
But I must warn the defense. If you are determined to pursue matters further in this trial, the prosecution has decisive evidence from sworn witnesses who are present at the scene of the crime,
But
even though no one else was supposed to be there.
Yeah, hold on a minute. What do you think I should do, Kazuma? You should definitely confess. What do you mean? Well, I'm going to be found guilty one way or another, it seems. Wouldn't it be sensible to plead guilty at this stage and hope for a more lenient sentence?
A perfect representation of the American legal system if you don't have money.
Everyone keeps telling me that this trial is unusual about these peculiarities. But you said it, Professor Mikitoba said it, and so has the judge and the prosecution. I'm scared of what lies ahead if I push this. As I said from the outset, I believe you're innocent. I trust you.
I'm Batman.
Despite knowing that. You willing now to throw that trust back in my face? Is that it? Are you gonna bow to my extremely toxic relationship behavior, where I believe everything on your opinion of me? What? If the accused is in fact innocent, then a defense lawyer is duty-bound to prove that innocence by whatever means necessary. Are you just going to abandon that duty? Are you going to give up on yourself? The battle hasn't even begun yet. Ryunosuke. Wow. The defense pleads not guilty. We'll invite the prosecution to stop making empty threats and bring out its witnesses. Then we'll see just how decisive this... fuck. Then we'll see just how decisive this evidence really is. Indeed. Prosecutor Ayuchi, please continue with proceedings.
Tisk, well, you were warned. The young can be so reckless. You know, many call me a saint, but I can be a devil when I want to be.
That's his, untender profile. Ugh.
In a few short moments from now. That dumbstruck young mouth of yours will be silenced forever. The prosecution calls us next witness.
Very well. Officer, please bring forth the witnesses at once.
But wait, we never had an opportunity to cross-examine
Yeah.
the waiter.
Yeah, maybe he'll come back. Oh my god, these people.
Witnesses, kindly state your names and occupations for the court.
Do you want to be the old guy or this one?
I'll be the old guy.
Okay. Yes, sir. The great Nippon Imperial Army Sergeant Aisa Anosa, reporting for duty, sir.
Myself? Oh, God. I find employers a purveyor of fine artifacts of antiquity from an efflorescence of our nation, Nippon. And I conduct my trade from Razute, a humble premise of the 2nd District. Kirio Korakuta, at your service. I am very sorry for all of the butchering.
An antique dealer and a soldier. What an unusual pairing.
Both of these gentlemen were present at the restaurant on the day in question.
They must be diners at the other table that the waiter mentioned.
Myself, I habitually take tea of the most exquisite aroma at the establishment in question, always post-noon. And not infrequently converse with interested parties regarding the curios which I make my business.
I can't understand a word that old man is saying.
Jab.
He's an antique dealer, and it sounds like he's a regular at La Carnival. He seeks out potential customers who may have an interest in antiques and tries to sell his wares to them. It's like an MLM. It's really obnoxious. He obviously targets the La Carnival because it's a high-class restaurant with rich clientele. Right, I see. Although, to be honest, that sergeant looks more like he'd be a seller rather than a buyer.
Now, you both witnessed the precise moment of the most atrocious incident. Is that correct?
Affirmative! Also, Jake pointed out that this guy's name is like a yes sir, no sir. His first name is Ayesa. His last name is Nosa.
Oh my god.
The enemy unit was seen attacking the foreigner in what can only be described as an act of war. Sir, I probably shouldn't say that because that would, nobody else attacking someone else. It was that black uniformed rogue infantryman over there who unloaded his firearm, sir.
But wait, we're to his right.
Yeah. Dude. This man's as impossible to understand as the other. But I'm almost sure I heard a strange noise during that last thing he said. So, this is another decisive evidence the prosecution was threatening. The soldier is claiming that he actually saw the precise moment you shot the victim dead. Yeah. Well, are you starting to feel uncomfortable? If I'm honest, I was feeling comfortable from the beginning. Now the court will hear your Now the court will hear your formal testimony, please. Dude, I'm so flustered by the technical issues. Normally we do this perfectly.
Oh, yes.
But today it's a bit off. You will state everything you saw at the precise moment that the incident occurred. Sir, yes, sir. Standing by, ready to report, sir. Like a baby sound? Did you hear that?
Yes. Oh, unsavory memories of the most academic afternoon.
Witness testimony. What the witnesses saw. I was ingesting a regulation beefsteak at the restaurant while having a tactical discussion with the old man.
Myself, was extolling the virtues of particularly fine gold and curio to the military gentleman.
At that precise moment, a firearm was discharged. I observed the enemy's actions with my own eyes. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel.
Wait, he was shot from the front.
Yeah, that's what
I
we're
was
doing.
on my hands and knees, investigating the whereabouts of my mysteriously absconded precious curio.
That's going to be what we present evidence to, I think. Well, so you, Sergeant Nosa, actually witnessed a vital moment. You saw the split second where the defendant fired the weapon at the victim. Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. That wicked university cadet, sir. The cruel and unforgivable enemy. Oh my
What? He has a knife in the middle of court. Okay, wait. What times we live in where an English gentleman may be assailed in the broad light of day.
But this is ridiculous. I didn't shoot anyone. Is that really true, Ryunosuke? Yeah, all I did was pick up the gun I saw lying on the floor.
Oh, yes.
After I'd said hello to Dr. Wilson, I went back to my table and sat drinking some coffee. Then when I'd finished, I got up from my seat to leave the restaurant, when I noticed an English-made gun next to the chair where the professor was sitting. I thought perhaps the professor had dropped it. So I bent down and just as I was picking it up, bang. Well, if that's the truth, there's obviously a criminal on the scene somewhere.
Oh, well, yeah.
And somewhere in these two witnesses' testimonies, there's a clue as to who that criminal was. There is. Ryunosuke, you must exercise your right to cross-examine the witnesses. Cross-examine? Do it now!
As we've heard, Your Excellency, there is no room for doubt in the testimony of these witnesses. The defendant is clearly guilty. Slam. It is time to bring this despicable student to justice.
Certainly, the testimony the court has just heard eliminates any vestige of doubt. Therefore, it is my grave duty to declare the verdict of this trial. Yes.
He looks fucking insane.
What in the name of our emperor is the meaning of this outburst? The defense demands its right to a cross-examination.
Dear me, dear me. Let me guess. The Hekamaki headband boy next door told me to do it. How pathetic.
What? How do you know?
The prosecution objects. This is a clear waste of time. That's not how the defendant obviously has no experience. How could he possibly carry out a cross-examination?
Objection!
The defense is asserting its right to a cross-examination. Whether or not you think he's capable of it, it is irrelevant.
Go.
Help! Kazuma is so commanding. He really should be the main character.
Sexy.
Very well. Let the defense conduct a cross-examination of the witnesses. Alright, this is where the battle really begins, right, Ryunosuke? Like, an hour and a half into this game. Gameplay begins. But I don't even know what I have to do in a cross-examination.
Press the circle button.
Yeah. You have to expose the lies in the witnesses' statements. How? You didn't fire the gun, which means what the soldier said has to be a lie. Well, yes, but it's just a case of proving it. And the key to doing that is evidence. Right? Evidence. All you need to do is present some decisive and indisputable evidence that proves... No, fuck. All you need to do is present some decisive and indisputable evidence that proves the witness is lying. Now let's go, Ryunosuke. Don't let them beat you. All right then. It's all or nothing. So this is what we saw already, I think. So let me see if we have like a actual evidence that goes to where he was shot from. From the
So
front.
there's a
Yeah.
stake in the background there.
Well, it says he was shot from the front, right here. So I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
we just go to yeah, the next one. That's what he says. So if we wanted, we could press, which is like just ask them for more information. But I think given that we know what the thing is,
Yes!
why does it say yes, not objection or something? It should say objection. What? What are you playing at, cadet? What is the meaning of this subordination? Thrusting some photographic print in my mustache. Inconsistency, sir. I mean, yes. There's a clear inconsistency here.
Tisk, what nonsense! What can this print possibly tell us that we don't know already now? Or no?
Well, obviously, I know what I want to say, but the words just won't come out of my mouth. Boy, I hate that shit.
Humph! I think this proves beyond any doubt, Your Excellency, that there is no place for an amateur student here in this grand courtroom.
Ah! This is so frustrating. Oh, please. Surely this doesn't require an explanation. It couldn't be more plain. Dispelling would be an insult to the court. That's some good bullshit right there, Kazuma.
What are you talking about?
It's apparent from a single glance at the photographic print presented by the defense. There's a clear discrepancy here with the sergeant's statement.
What?
Sergeant Ayesanosa. Yes, sir. What, sir? The statement you just made was this. Oh my god. It's been so verbose. The black uniform varsity cadet fired on the English civilian. From the back, the curly little weasel. Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. I witnessed the crime with my own military-grade eyes, sir. My eyes! But no, that just can't be. And why not, cadet? Because... Take a close look at the print. They're making the main character as useless as possible right now. Like, he pointed this out and can't even see it. The victim, Dr. Wilson, died from a bullet wound to the chest, which is in the front. Ah. Sergeant, according to your witness statement, the culprit shot the victim from behind. Is that your dog or something else?
No. Oh, I'm sorry that you can hear that. That's outside.
Nice. That's right. There's just some dogs outside the courtroom. And that is the obvious a discrepancy here. Well, how do you explain it? What the fuck? Oh, there is a baby. What the hell? What the fuck? What was that? Something just popped up from behind his back when he pushed it down again. Certainly, there is a clear discrepancy with the facts here. Would you not agree, Sergeant Nosa? Yes, sir. This is a juncture that would appear to be indisputable. What the fuck is the baby doing? Until the moment I heard the firearm discharge, my eyes were firmly fixed on the illustrious by Carnival stake, sir.
What?
The last testimony the court heard has proven one thing beyond all reasonable doubt. This witness, Sergeant Ayesanosa, did not see the defendant firing a gun at all.
That That's absurd!
I think the conclusion we must draw is simple. There is no place for an amateur prosecutor here in this grand courtroom.
Ooh,
Got him.
sick bird.
Knurk.
Knurk.
Achievement unlocked. Inconsistency seared. There's been a complete turnabout in the mood of this trial, just from that a discrepancy. So this is what being an ace attorney is all about.
Oh my god.
But I definitely saw him. That university cadet there, he was pointing the firearm directly at the victim's back.
Yes!
But I never fired the gun. All I did was pick it up off the floor. And you, old man, you didn't see the moment the victim was shot either?
Myself, I have already been quite clear. The gunshot interested me not. God, speaks in rhymes now. I was far too busy on the floor.
Too busy on the floor? Sorry, what were you doing?
Hunting for treasure.
Treasure. Oh god.
Indeed, the Jose Iracoban, my prized coin. On each occasion when I visit that restaurant, it is my habitude to place in my bosom pocket a particular trinket of interest from my shop, Rasute.
And that would meeting a rich diner who might like to buy it from you?
Of the day under scrutiny, it was to the military man that I proffed my away treasure. Believe that he would purchase such a rare find, I did not. But I was presented with little alternative. And then, after averting my eyes for the briefest of moments, it was there no more. It simply vanished. The koban vanished. Hunting around under the table I was, in case mayhap it had fallen there, and then it happened.
You heard the gunshot, you mean?
Indeed I did, but I heeded it not, for I was concerned only with finding my absconded treasure. Nothing could distract me.
Out of interest, did you find the coin in the end?
No.
I see.
That lamentable day, the precious holy kaban was lost to me. No doubt, some unscrupulous scoundrel pocketed the prize coin for himself. I bet the baby has it.
Yeah. As I'm sure everyone present is aware, this case demands a swift and decisive resolution. Our government has promised to send a full report to Great Britain by telegraph this very afternoon. Nevertheless, the witness testimony the court has just heard was inconclusive. No matter how subservient our government feels it must be to the British, it would be unforgivable to deliver a verdict on this trial right now. Well, what is your position? What is your position? Fucking hell. What is your position, prosecutor Aochi?
"'Tis ha! Very not, your excellency. The defendant may have fled a tiger at the front gate, but he will find..." Oh god, I'm the old man now. He will find a wolf in the back.
Nice. Wow.
My witness has further testimony to make.
Explain.
Upon hearing their next statements, it will become abundantly clear that there is only one person who could possibly have committed the despicable crime. The equally despicable defendant, Ryosuke Naruto.
What?
What?
He really seems to have a despicable opinion of you, does he not? Ugh. Very well, the court invites the witnesses to testify again. You will thoroughly explain the reasoning behind the prosecution's allegation. Is that clear?
Clear as glass, Your Excellency.
Whatever that is. Yes, sir, at once, sir. Awaiting signal to testify, sir. Excuse me, but there's something or someone peeking out over your shoulder, I think? Affirmative. The newest member of the Nosa family to rise up through the ranks, sir. Name, Ido. It would seem those straps are a sign of the sergeant being too strapped to afford a nanny. Ido. Tension. What the fuck? Your father's about to quell the enemy. Watch and learn, my boy. The true culprit. Even if what I saw wasn't the precise moment the firearm was discharged, it's almost the same thing.
Yes, pointing his gun to the foreign man he was, but the young lad in back. That much I myself did see.
Furthermore, a visual search of the premises at the time confirmed that we were the only personnel present.
Indeed, alone he was, the Englishman, dining all by himself.
Jake points out the baby's name is Ido, so it's Ido Nosa, or I don't know, sir. Therefore, no one other than the black uniform cadet could have possibly dispatched the Englishman. Over and out. These testimonies are certainly been cut off. Wait, that's nonsense. The victim, Dr. Wilson, wasn't alone at all.
Please, enough of these outbursts already.
But there was a woman. There was a young woman at his table. You must have seen her. Everyone there must have seen her.
Objection!
If you call yourself a lawyer, then you will respect the rules of the court and speak accordingly.
I don't. I've never called myself a lawyer once.
We're not here to listen to your fantasies.
Ugh.
It is evident beyond all reasonable doubt that the victim was alone at the time of the incident. The prosecution has photographic evidence of the fact.
Is this a photographic print of the scene of the crime, Counsel?
We've been over this.
This is a different one.
Oh. Indeed, of the table at which the victim was dining, taken by an investigator immediately after the incident. As can plainly be seen, there is only one place set.
Certainly, based on the appearance of this print, it would be reasonable to conclude that the victim was not in the company of anyone else. Alright,
You're right, it
this doesn't make
doesn't.
any sense. The court will add this new photographic evidence to the record. The photographic print of the crime scene has been entered into the court record. I don't understand. What's going on here? It's just not possible that nobody else saw that woman. The waiter before said the same thing. He maintains that Dr. Wilson came to the restaurant alone as well. But that's not true. I saw her. I swear that I saw a woman with him. It would seem that we'll be able to telegraph the report to Great Britain on time after all. The witness testimonies we have just heard leave no further room for doubt.
These are very sensitive political times, as we all know. The ink is still fresh on the treaty with Great Britain. To think that I, Takasuchi Ouchi, will have contributed to the amity of these two great empires is an honor.
How could this be happening? The judge is ready to rule. Stand tall, Proprietor Nusuke. It's not over yet. What? If what you say is true, then there's something going on here behind the scenes. And now is your chance to expose it, to draw out the truth in your cross-examination. I don't know, Kazuma. The defense is entitled to cross-examine the witnesses, but make it quick. Understood?
Rules can be so unbending at times.
Ugh. The true culprit. Let me just look at the, So like, that's not his seat, right?
It is.
Well, but like, why is he facing away from his seat?
Oh yeah, that's his stake. Like the other guys.
Yeah, I think this is the woman's stake or something. Oh yeah, it's the a soldier stake. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and if you can look at the card.
Oh yeah, because there's something important with the card, wasn't there?
See, like where he's supposed to have been positioned, like in the angle of the photograph, presumably there would be a table behind him.
Well, there's a table behind him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like even like the waiter's like rough sketch.
Okay, but which thing is the problem here? I think I'm gonna press on. Oh shit! Right. What do you think, Reinusuke? Ugh. What's the matter? I can't find anything. I can't find a clear discrepancy anywhere. I'm done. I'm done for. I can't win this trial. No. Listen, the first thing to do is calm down. You can expect witness statements to be full of holes every time. So just take your time and try to tease more information out of them first. What do you mean? You can choose to either press or present against each of the witness statements. If a witness is saying something you're suspicious about, press them on it with Q. With a little luck, you may get more details, which could prove to be crucial. Right, I see. The important point is, there's no sense in holding back. Holy shit. If anything helps, even slightly, yeah. I press the witnesses on it, and press them hard. Alright, got it. I'll press them like blocks of tofu. The professor wasn't alone in the restaurant, I'm sure of it.
Isn't tofu soft?
Yeah, dude, I don't know. I have no idea how you make it. This cross-examination is going to prove I'm right. It's time to press them for all they're worth. My fate depends on it. So something is going to change when I press them, and that will be what we use. It's going to be one of the ones talking about him eating alone. No, I'm trying to... Oh my god. God damn it. It's the same thing we just saw.
Does it like only let you click so many times before it takes you?
Well, if we go to the end of the testimony, it does this. So I'm trying to go back and forth, but I'm hitting the wrong button because I'm not used to this UI. There we go. So, just, try this first.
Yes.
Why is he saying yes all the time? So you actually saw that with your own eyes, did you? The victim, Dr. Wilson, dining alone.
That did forgive me for the position I'd place you in. So, the testimonies of the old man, the soldier, and the waiter all agree on one point. Isn't that interesting? And let us not forget the incontestable evidence we have to support their statement as well.
There's something about this picture I'm not seeing.
Well, it's just, as can clearly be seen, there was only a single beef steak on the victim's table, a meal for one. Oh, well, remember, the old man doesn't eat food at the restaurant.
But this is the victim's food. It's supposed to be. The
Are we
antique
sure?
dealer, the sergeant and the waiter who testified before. It's not impossible that they're all lying. But if so, then why? If I'm perfectly honest, I had absolutely no idea. How do I go back? Okay. Paused. I think it's more like this. So like it's like behind him, which makes no sense, right? But like, how do I present that? I guess maybe do I just show this picture and show that like it's clearly not his fucking food? Because why would he be faced away from it? Unless
You can. I guess you can press him on this first.
Yeah.
Yes!
You must have noticed someone else at Dr. Wilson's table. There was a lady there.
Objection!
Yeah, it's not the right one.
As you have been at pains to point out time and again, I feel I'm growing callous in my ear. And yet, no one else appears to have caught even a glimpse of this woman.
Well, there had been more people dining there at the time. Someone else would have noticed her. Unfortunately, it was already past 2 p.m. when it happened. The quiet time between lunch and dinner in any restaurant. I know, of course the place was almost empty. It's what you'd expect. Certainly, 2 p.m. is neither here nor there in terms of a time to eat. I wonder if there was a reason why the victim was eating at that time of day, and why he was alone.
Yes, Your Excellency, there was indeed a reason.
Oh, we might learn something.
Murder.
There was. Oh shit, we did find something. Nice.
This was found in the victim's jacket pocket.
Well, what is that, Counsel?
It's a medical report card, Your Excellency. It would seem that the victim had an appointment at a clinic prior to visiting the restaurant.
On a clinic? Yes. There would indeed appear to be an entry for the date in question. That's a reference. There's a Hada clinic in one of the other games. 19th November, noon to past 1 p.m. The very day of the incident.
So the victim went for a late lunch following his appointment. The explanation couldn't be more simple. The prosecution felt no need to submit this evidence before, as it really has no bearing on the case.
I wonder. What do you think, Ryunosuke? Well, it is hard to see how it can be they're related, really. Remember, you can request for it to be entered into the court record as evidence if you think it could be useful. Should I ask for Dr. Wilson's medical report card to be submitted as evidence or not? Nah, we don't need it, right? It's irrelevant.
Yes!
Oh, yeah.
Yes. If I may, why did he do it? If I may, I'd like to ask for that medical report card to be submitted as evidence, Your Excellency.
On what ground? The court has already heard conclusive witness testimony. Additional evidence would be extraneous. Not to mention that the victim's movements prior to his arrival at the restaurant are of no concern.
Objection!
Whether or not they are of concern is up to us to decide. We have a right to explore all possible avenues and alleyways and routes.
I beg your pardon.
You have no authority to refuse a perfectly valid request for the submission of evidence. Very well. The court will grant the defense's request.
Youngsters these days are forever asserting their right in a most disturbing trend.
Based. Prosecutor Ehuchi roasts liberal scum. Officer, kindly add the victim's medical report card to the court record.
Back in my day, samurai were samurai and shogunates ruled.
What we need right now is new clues. We have to explore things from every possible angle, even if they don't seem relevant at first. Because why would the game designers put it in the game if you didn't need it? Right, I hear you.
Humph. You can conspire to prolong this trial as much as you like, but it's the day after the festival already for you.
Is that a saying, or is it literally the day after the festival? I don't know.
It's, at this point, I have no idea. Or perhaps you'd forgotten that the witness testimonies leave no room for doubt. Feel free to reiterate for the accused, Kurakuda-san.
Okay, let's check out this evidence. It's gonna say something about, like, do not eat steak, or something like that. How do I check it? I can't. No, I can't, like, there's nothing else that I can look at here. I can't even examine it. That's weird.
Huh.
I was hoping that it would either be that, or it would be, like, in someone else's name. Well, okay, so it's kind of weird because, like, I think it's probably, like, an examination for someone else that he did, because he's the medical, like, professor, right?
Yeah.
So it's like he gave the killer like a bad grade or something, like, but I can't get anything out of this right now. Weird. Wrong button. I could try pressing some more stuff, but that's not straight. I think this is probably worth pressing.
Press on this,
yeah.
because, like, he's trying to say that, you know, close enough is close enough.
Yeah. No, it's not the same thing at all. For a start, I didn't fire that gun. Jake is saying if I double-click on the thing. But, like, some of these have this little magnifying glass, and this one does not. So it doesn't, I can't examine it. Like, there's an examine button, so that's weird. We have a difference of opinion on that. The opinion of a uniformed officer versus that of a fledgling cadet. I don't think so.
Consider this, defendant. Just a moment ago, I blinked.
Did you?
Did you see it? Did you see me blink?
How could I?
And yet, it is an undeniable fact that I did blink. No, that's not. So there you have it. Flawless logic.
Have what? Attention! The sound of the firearm rang in my ears in the very next moment. I saw you waving the gun at the Englishman.
I think that it says all, don't you? And let's not forget that the antique dealer witnessed the accused in the most incriminating position as well. Isn't that so, Kurakuta-san? Did we press him on this?
No, but I might as well. Because he said he was focused on the coin, maybe. Yeah, so maybe it's true that I was holding the gun at that point in time. But I told you already. It's only because I picked it up off the floor.
Well, obviously, as the culprit, that's the only way you could explain it away.
I had just finished drinking my coffee and I was about to leave the restaurant when I noticed a gun on the floor at Dr. Wilson's feet, so I picked it up. And at exactly that moment, bang. Gunshot rang in my ears.
Oh, full of evidence beyond our control, life is.
Sorry, what do you mean?
In your case, you found a pistol on the floor and picked it up, which precipitated the testing predicament.
I'm going to knife you right now.
Whereas conversely, oh god, yeah, I failed to pick up the Koban from the floor and find myself in an equally testing predicament as well. Anyway, the fact remains, myself, I did not see you. With pistol in hand, standing over the foreigner.
But I was,
Well, he just said that he didn't see him.
No, he said he did.
Oh.
Yeah, you just misread it. How dare you, John?
Yes!
It's probably me nothing. Why aren't you telling the truth? What? What did you say, Cadet? I clearly remember. There was a woman sitting across the table from the professor. Perhaps one of you might not have noticed. For both of you to have failed to see the professor's dining companion is just not possible. Unfortunately for you, Defendant Naruto, it's not just a case of these two witnesses alone. Sorry. The waiter, whose testimony the court heard earlier, clearly stated the same thing. He also said that the victim was alone. That's right.
Precisely. In other words, you're on the sole proponent for the Phantom Lady.
But I...
If such a woman were indeed present at the scene, the prosecution demands to see proof. And if no such proof exists...
Okay, so it's funny because when I'm presenting... like, when I'm trying to present, I can't look at people. But when someone else is talking, I can go to the court record and look at people. So I want to see... Yeah, he's a professor of medicine, so like he's gonna have a medical report card to like grade somebody, not that he got examined, right? But
yeah,
how do I fucking like show that? Oh, it's from a clinic though, so okay, I have no idea. So I'm really lost.
The prosecution demands that no further mention of this phantom woman be made. It's a blatant waste of the court's time.
There's nothing I can say to that.
Tis ha 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 ha.
Excellent work, Ryusuke. We've gleaned some new information now. Oh, god damn it. I just have to press everything and then we're gonna learn something. Like, we're gonna be able to look at the stupid card. Damn it. Well, yes, but I don't feel like it changes much. I can't see that it brings any real discrepancies to light. I wouldn't be so sure. Let me see that medical report card you got before. I'm gonna be able to read it, even though you couldn't. God damn it. Oh, you mean this? Yes. This is a brand new piece of evidence. So perhaps we should examine it in a little more detail. How exactly? Oh my god.
With our eyes.
Our special eyes. You'll notice that some pieces of evidence bear a magnifying glass. These are the ones you may examine. And we took it out of the game, so you wouldn't be able to do it until we told you about it. Because fuck you. Press spacebar and you can take a closer look at the piece in question. Use up, left, down, right. A, B. Start. To rotate the evidence in all directions and examine it from all angles.
Ooh, I bet you can do this with the business card as well.
Yeah. By using WASD.
Like Cole Phelps and LA Noir. Just tapping.
You can move the crosshair around to hunt for clues that it may have missed before. If the crosshair starts to pulsate, press space to investigate further. So, partner, I think you should take a closer look at this medical report card. See if there isn't something new to be learned by examining it in more detail. Alright, I'll see what I can do. I need to use arrows and WASD and space to inspect any area that looks suspicious. It's a dentist, okay. Let's have a look. This is some kind of medical history. For some reason, we're hand-drawn now instead of 3D models. There's an injury for the day the professor was killed. Extraction of molar with topical anesthesia. Oh, so you couldn't eat a steak if you just got a tooth pulled out, right?
Mmm.
Extraction of molar? You mean he had a tooth taken out? It would seem so. Just before the incident, he'd had a bad tooth removed. And this is this is a 1910, so that shit was metal as fuck. They just knocked that shit out with a brick. Perhaps they use laughing gas. That's the most modern practice in the West for pain relief. Yes, I've heard of this anesthesia, so I guess maybe I was completely off about the state of dentistry. Although it's hard to believe there's anything that can actually stop you feeling pain. There's a cautionary note for the medical practitioner as well. Strictly no food or drink besides water for 3 hours post-procedure until anesthetic effects have passed. Really? Sounds like information worth bearing in mind. The medical report card's information has been updated. Okay, so we can prove that to say like he was eating alone because he was not actually eating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think it's time we listen to the testimony again, don't you? Definitely.
And can we do this with the...
I'm gonna try. The card. Chief Inspector? He's not a waiter, he's like undercover. Or something.
Oh.
Well, that's unexpected. Oh, what is? Look, do you see it says the witness's name here? Satoru Hosonaga. Well, yeah, business cards do tend to show the person's name, idiot. That's sort of the point. It's not the name that's unexpected. It's his job title. His job. Oh. Chief Inspector Satoru Hosonaga, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau. Inspector? What on earth? I have no idea.
That's why he wasn't a sworn witness.
Yeah. But let's face it, the police have a lot of power and influence. If they're wielding it somewhere here. What the fuck?
Can you flip it over to the other side and then see if, if it lets you click on that?
This plan at the restaurant raises a number of questions, I think. Definitely. It's supposed to show the relative position of everything in the moments following the incident. There's nothing to show the woman you saw there. Exactly. That's not all. Look here in the upper left where it says kitchen. Oh yes, what of it? No one would use those complicated characters to write kitchen, especially not if they were in a hurry. Oh yes, of course, I knew that. You mean you don't remember those characters yourself, don't you? Study harder, Inosuke. I actually remember that this one is exit or entrance, apparently. Shit. I thought it was exit. It's just entrance. Fuck. I wonder what else I can do this for. No. It's the one where he's eating by himself. Dining all by himself.
Yes!
Oh wait, that's the food. Or yeah, I guess that would be.
Yeah, I think it's fine. Well, I think,
About what are you wittering, lad? Calling yourself a lawyer?
I wish I could, but first and foremost here, I'm the accused. Right, Inosuke. Everyone stumbles on their words occasionally. If you're me, you do it a lot. Under the circumstances, I wouldn't worry about it. Thanks, Kazuma. I could see it quite clearly in that cross-examination you just carried out. When you raised your hand straight up like that, so purposefully. You knew exactly what it was you wanted to say. Ugh. Don't feel like you have to choose your words carefully. Just say what you're thinking. Alright, and thanks for the advice. Korakuda-san, this is a medical report card belonging to the victim.
I see, and I don't see. What of it, boy?
Comparing what is written on this report card with your witness statement, something clearly does not add up.
Objection!
Dear me, have you forgotten my words so soon, you amateur?
Sorry, what?
You are not to interrupt court proceedings with your amateurish drivel.
But...
Let's see if I can explain in words you might understand. It was after 2 p.m. in the afternoon when the victim was murdered at the restaurant. Whatever he may or may have not done before that time is completely irrelevant.
But that's, Remember, Ryusuke, you don't have to use clever language or fancy words. Just make your point.
Your Excellency, I believe we're finished here. There is surely no need to prolong this trial further. The witness testimonies the court has heard have been clear and concise, but factually incorrect. The medical report card has no bearing on the matter at all, for the simple reason that there is no one else besides the pale-faced people.
This medical report card has nothing to do with the case? Do you really believe that?
What? That outburst have petrified me, boy. Of course I believe it. How could it possibly be relevant?
Perhaps because Hada Clinic, which issued the report card, is a dental clinic.
A dental clinic? Is that supposed to mean something to me?
Perhaps if I told you the victim had just had a tooth extracted.
What's this now?
And furthermore, if I told you that as a result the victim had been forbidden from eating. Just what are you trying to say, Cadet? He had orders not to eat, so what? It's all written up in here. No food or drink other than water for 3 hours post-procedure while anesthesia wears off.
What? No! I can't!
Korakuda-san.
What, boy, what?
As you just heard, when he was killed sometime shortly after 2 p.m., the victim could not have been eating anything at all.
Oh!
Additionally, there's more. You have assured the court with unwavering self-confidence that the victim was dining alone. But that cannot possibly be the case. Grr. Because the victim, as we now know, had just had one of his teeth extracted and was still experiencing the effects of the anesthetic, which we've said 4 times now. Arg! Expertly done, partner. I think from this angle you can clearly see the baby. Like,
What is this nonsense, you little upstart? These are baseless accusations. Just look at this photographic evidence. You can clearly see the plate of food at the victim's table.
Objection!
use your head. That's the very discrepancy we're talking about. Or can't you follow the logic?
How dare you!
I think it's fair to say the tables in this restaurant case have turned. Wouldn't you agree, Ranosuke? Yeah! Yeah! Yes, most definitely. So having just undergone some dental surgery, the victim was unable to eat. Which leaves one very crucial conundrum. Who in fact was eating the pictured beefsteak? The court will hear the opinion of the defense on this new puzzle. I assume you're ready, counsel? Counsel? Oh. Oh, that means me, doesn't it?
God.
Alright. The answer to this question is going to be pivotal. This is the start of you turning this trial around. Show them what you're made of. Got it. So, the person eating the steak at the victim's table must have been... me. It has to be an unknown third party, right? Yeah, it's...
I thought it was the sergeant.
Oh, I think it's the woman.
Oh.
I think it's like somebody, like the police told them to cover up the woman because she's important or something.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see. It's like this. Sergeant was sitting at a different table. But it could, I don't know. Let's see. Obviously, it can only have been someone else who was sitting at the professor's table.
Objection!
You will go, will you? There is no such person.
Yes!
There was, because I saw her. Maybe you're right. Maybe it wasn't this table. I don't know. When the incident occurred, we know the victim couldn't have been eating anything. And we have evidence of having the steak on his table. Therefore, the only logical conclusion is that there was someone else there eating it. Eric! We have strong evidence to support our assertion. It's clear that these witnesses' testimonies are unreliable. If the court decides to push through a ruling at this stage, we will lodge a formal complaint with the Ministry of Justice and pursue a fair retrial, relentlessly. Why would we do that anyway? Akazuma.
Are you insane? You would take on the government in Imperial Japan?
Don't worry, Counsel. I have no issue with you.
Well, what do you mean?
I have issue with them, the two witnesses in the stand. Jake points out the music going on right now is pretty great, and I agree. It's very nice.
Oh, no, it is.
Yeah.
What?
What are you talking about? Ooh. Excuse me.
We have demonstrated with evidence that the victim was not alone.
There you go. We have demonstrated with evidence the victim was not alone. So it now turns out the two of you deliberately lied when giving your testimonies. I actually didn't want to know. Fuck. Obviously, you'll be charged with perjury. Perjury. And since this is a murder trial, you will also be deemed complicit in the killing.
Complicit in murder? No!
Negative. There was no mention of this at the tactical meeting. I was just following orders, which is something that will never go wrong for anyone in Japan ever.
Oh God. That's right, the man says. Just say you never saw the gentlewoman. That's what they told us. Oh, shit.
What? What did you just say, Korikuta-san?
Oh, no.
You were just following orders.
No, hold on, lad. I was,
Say you never saw the gentlewoman. Grr. When you say gentlewoman, do you mean you saw the victim with a lady from overseas? What?
Objection!
What? What's the meaning of all of this? These witnesses gave false statement? Is this true, you pair?
Just one. Just one simple. Slip of the tongue. Order, order! Counsel, explain what is going on here. It's painfully clear now. You tried to prevent these witnesses from telling the truth.
Absolutely not! The prosecution knows nothing of this!
Then who's behind this? Who tried to make you keep your mouth shut?
Well,
That's classified. Baby's pulling his...
Oh my God.
So you're prepared to be tried as a conspirator to this murder, are you? You wouldn't... This can't be happening. Ryunosuke, judging from the way they're reacting to this, I'd say they were sworn to silence by someone with considerable influence. However, I don't believe Ayuchi had any idea about it. What are you saying? I mean, to wield that kind of influence, there are only a handful of possibilities. It could only have been the government, the military, or the police, I suppose. Well, any ideas about who might be behind this? But we could affirm who tried to silence... Holy shit, I can't fucking talk today. If we can confirm who tried to silence the witnesses, then we can continue our pursuit. So we need to name whoever it was that tried to make these witnesses keep their mouth shut. It's the waiter. I got it. We got the thing already. Of course, we'll need evidence before we can make any firm accusations. Evidence that proves whoever it was really did wield his or her power here. But how? How can we possibly... Remember how we made progress before? By using the WAS keys? We examined this piece of evidence. Okay, we got it. We're going to the thing. Oh yes, that's right. Well, that's not the only piece of evidence we have, is it? We need to re-examine everything and make sure there's nothing we missed. There's no time to lose. We're going to talk about this for 10 more minutes, and then we'll be able to do it. I want answers. If it's proven that these witnesses have been manipulated, I assure you the penalty will be severe.
Please, wait! Your Excellency! I had no idea about any of this. I swear to everything Shinto God. I knew nothing.
And what does the defense have to say about all this? Well, Your Excellency. No time to think. I'm just gonna have to close my eyes and shout out the first name that comes into my head. Besides the prosecution, the only person with the necessary influence to manipulate the witnesses is Satoru
Yes!
Bosunaga. Well, surely that would be Satoru Hosunaga-san. The waiter who took the stand earlier?
Objection!
Cock!
Yeah, all I heard from you was cock. It like clipped out when you said Poppy.
Cock! What possible reason would that waiter have to make these witnesses give false testimony? Not to mention the fact that even a head waiter could not possibly have that level of influence.
For once, I would agree with you. If that is, the man truly were a waiter.
What? If he truly were?
Oh, come on, Ryunosuke. Time to hit this court with the truth. The truth about the waiter's real identity is proven by his evidence. I can't fucking say this.
You're
Oh
good.
my god! Not that one.
No.
Business card. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes!
The plan of the restaurant sketched by the man in question. I agree. It's just a great deal of detail, but I'm not sure we can include anything. Sorry, Your Excellency. Your Excellency. That's the back of the card. It's the back of the card that's of interest. I beg your pardon? Or perhaps I should have said the front. Yes, it's the front of the back of the card. That's where the telling detail is. Would somebody please explain what this overexcited student is trying to say? He sketched the plan of the restaurant on the reverse side of the business card. The front of that business card reveals the man in the question's profession, his true profession. The waiter's profession, but that's surely... Good gracious! That's right. The card reads, Chief Inspector, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau.
What? The waiter is a police detective? I haven't heard any mention of this before. Why haven't I heard of any mention of this before?
The Imperial Police Bureau has immense power, absolute power, as far as regular civilians are concerned.
But yet they don't know the procedures of submitting evidence in a court.
Exactly. So witnesses hit there in the stand. But was it in fact the waiter who gave you your orders? Was it he who told you not to mention that you'd seen this foreign gentlewoman at the scene? Well.
Ooh, spoopy evil music.
Oh yeah. Inspector Hosonaga! I was worried something like this may happen. The moment you asked me to submit my sketch as evidence, I realized that it was a possibility. Why did you make the fucking sketch? What was the point of that otherwise? The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence. In the flashback. Oh, well.
I like that it's showing, like, I guess this is if this was like 4 episodes ago in the anime.
Yeah. Yes, I remember now. He did act strangely when the judge asked him to hand over his business card. I strive to carry out all investigations flawlessly. It's my guiding principle. But I let myself be distracted when I made that sketch. It was an unusually careless mistake.
So, you mean to say you really are a detective?
But why would a detective be working as a waiter? Ah, of course. Your salary must be terrible. I was working undercover.
God. Why is her guy so stupid?
I know, dude. Yes, there's been a series of incidents at the restaurant recently. In order to investigate, I decided to get a job there as a waiter, working undercover. At the restaurant? What kind of incidents? That would be classified police information, which I am not at liberty to divulge. However, I can say categorically that they were unrelated to this case of homicide, and no piece of evidence will ever contradict that claim.
Oh yes. Given how truthful and
Yeah.
non-influency you've been.
Very well then, Inspector Hosonaga, but you will clear up 1 point for the court. Of course, Your Excellency. We have just heard new information from the 2 witnesses beside you. That at the time of the shooting, there was in fact another person present at the victim's table.
Shit.
If that is indeed true, clearly you would also have been aware of this person's presence, having served at the table in question. However, your testimony did not allude to this other diner. Therefore, I am led to assume that in your professional capacity as a police officer, you require these witnesses to be in agreement. Would that be correct? Correct, Your Excellency. Unbelievable. As I suspected. Bang. As soon as I heard the gunshot, I ran out of the kitchen to see what had happened. The victim sat slumped in his chair. Beside him, gun in hand, stood the accused student. Sitting opposite the victim at the same table was a young lady, whom I guessed to be an Englishwoman. So the truth comes out. I immediately stood at the restaurant and reported the incident to the Bureau. It was then that I received some special orders. Special orders? You mean to say, remove the Englishwoman from the scene at once? It was made clear that the Englishwoman's presence at the restaurant was to be concealed. Those were my orders. But what if this Englishwoman was the killer? I think it would be in everyone's best interest not to pursue that idea. The Empire views the friendly terms of its relationship with Britain more highly than anything at the moment. An Englishman has been murdered on our soil. To name an Englishwoman as the primary suspect, well, without irrefutable evidence, that would be completely out of the question. So that's the reason for the disappearance of the Phantom Woman in this case.
But I mean, actually, wouldn't that be better for national relations that it was just an English person killing an English person rather than a Japanese person killing an English person?
Yeah, I don't know. But also, like, it's kind of like, we didn't do it, you did it.
Oh, I guess.
But it's not right. One possibility does spring to mind. What do you mean, Kazuma? Gume University is currently hosting a number of exchange students from Great Britain. And I'm fairly certain that one of them, studying in the medical faculty's research laboratory, is a young Englishwoman. Also, wasn't he there at the restaurant? Like, wouldn't you have seen her?
Yeah, actually.
Yeah. You're a shrewd man. I can see why you're the chosen candidate for the overseas study tour. Oh, you mean, would I remove the woman from the scene of the crime? I thought it prudent to check her identity first. The court demands you name the lady in question at once, Inspector. The Englishwoman sitting at the university professor's table was a certain Miss Giselle Brett. She's indeed a foreign student, studying in the research laboratory of the university's medical faculty. I keep wanting to say this.
What? What is happening here?
I admit that under orders from the police bureau, I erased all evidence of this lady's presence at the scene, and ordered these witnesses to make no mention of her in testimonies. It must now be up to the judge to decide how to deal with the situation. Very well, my thoughts on the matter are as follows. Thus far, the case presented to the court has been underpinned by a particularly critical premise. namely that the victim was dining alone. However, as we now have discovered that this premise is false, it would be a desecration of our justice system to ignore the truth and give a ruling at this point.
Objection!
And see, that would mean missing the noon deadline of a ruling in order to send the telegraph report to Great Britain. Our own government will surely be displeased by such action.
Calm yourself, Counsel. I will not allow the government of our country or any other to influence the proceedings of my courtroom. Inspector Hosonaga. Yes, sir. You will locate this Giselle Brett and escort her to the courtroom with the utmost urgency. At once, Your Excellency.
Means you're going against the special orders you were given from the police bureau.
As I said before, it is my guiding principle to carry out all investigations flawlessly. So it won't be a problem. I wonder if he's like poisoned by this woman or something. Like, that's gonna be why he's coughing up blood, or like he was shot or something like that. Nothing will.
Yeah. I mean, like, is it a trope? Maybe.
I have no idea. Court will adjourn briefly. The prosecution must call the English student, Giselle Brett, to the witness stand. Do I make myself clear?
Yes. Your Excellency!
Good. Then we will have a 30-minute recess before reconvening. Okay, so there's going to be like a part 2, and I don't know if it'll be as long as part 1 to this case. Do you want to try to finish the case today, or do you want to call it here?
Yeah, I mean, I can still hang out for probably another half hour.
Okay, yeah, let's go for a half hour and see what happens.
Cool.
By the way, has stream been better for you?
Yes.
Yeah, because I've dropped way fewer frames. I don't know if it was the bitrate thing that I changed or just restarting the computer that did it. Where? Oh my god, Gary's here. My cat. He's crying at me.
Oh. He's such a good boy.
When I moved my new place, I'm gonna set up a webcam so I can have a cat cam while I stream.
Yes.
And Jake says the stream is good, which is good. My God, Gary does this thing where he wants me to play, and he just cries and like walks away from me and like won't come. He's just like, "Please come play." Oh, now he's tangled up in a cord. Yeah. Anyway, the 22nd of November, 11:38 a.m. Supreme Court of Judicature, defendants, antechamber 5.
I would totally be down for a Gary cam. Just saying.
Excellent work, Rainusuke. That was superb. My heart was in my mouth the entire time. It was almost unbelievable. I mean, looking at you in there. You were drenched in sweat, your eyes popping, your knees knocking. There was vomit on your sweater already. Mom spaghetti.
Oh my god.
It was a grim sight, but before I knew it, you started finding inconsistencies in the testimonies. I think you might have a natural talent for being a liar, or at least a bullshitter. Forget it, it's terrifying. If I get through this, I don't ever want to see the inside of a courtroom again. Ha 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 ha. Anyway, it looks like we've exposed your phantom lady at last. Miss Giselle Brett, a student from Great Britain, is she? That's what I was trying to tell everyone from the start. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone. There was a young woman with him, like I've been saying all along. Yes, you have, haven't you? I might not be that confident in the courtroom, but my powers of observation are one thing I'm sure of. Yes, I can see that. So, about this young gentlewoman. Thanks to our detective friend, she was hastily escorted away from the scene, it seems. Did you see what happened with that? No, I didn't see any of it. Conveniently for the plot. I was just on my way out of the restaurant myself. Then on the floor next to the table, I noticed there was a gun. We've seen this.
I'm gonna laugh if it turns out that like actually he did it, and it's not, and like that's the big reveal twist at the end of the game.
What, that the main character did it, or that the
that the main character killed her or killed him.
Bang! We've seen this so many times. This is like, it's like it expects you to play it like for 5 minutes at a time. It just wants to keep reminding you. So Jake says the trial's about 2 hours longer.
From here?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Like the first trial was never this fucking long before, and most of it is just this dialogue that repeats itself a lot, which is kind of frustrating. Oh shit! I missed a line. What did he say? I didn't have time to think about where the sound of the gunshot had come from. The waiter ran over to me, looking as white as a sheet, and he bundled me into some sort of small pantry next to the kitchen. So given that, like, do you want to like save here and pick it up?
Yeah,
like...
we can save after this conversation.
Okay. Yeah. Fast thinking by the detective. He apprehended his suspect without a moment's delay. Yeah, because I was shut in the pantry. I have no idea what happened outside in the dining area. This is the other guy, I think.
Oh, yes. Ah, there you are. Well done, both of you.
That's probably wrong. Probably wasn't him then. Yeah, it must be this woman. Anyway. Professor Mikitova.
Well, it seems I was right. The pair of you make an outstanding team. You've exceeded my expectations, I have to say.
Yes, it seems you planned this from the start. You arranged things so I wouldn't be able to act as a lawyer in this trial.
Our modern country is still in its infancy. Our justice system even more so. Which is why I firmly believe that we need to send our brightest young stars overseas to learn all they can. I avoid a situation that may have resulted in your study tour to Great Britain being cancelled.
Well, it makes no difference. Lawyer or otherwise, if I'm the kind of man who can't help his best friend avert the worst crisis of his life. I shouldn't waste everyone's time by going to study overseas anyway. What are you talking about, Kazuma?
Oh, so that's your stance. I was afraid you'd feel that way.
Kazuma?
Well then, it looks like it all comes down to you, young man.
To me?
Yes, you need to prove your innocence and uncover what really took place in the restaurant. I must say, I very much want to know the truth. After all, I have a personal connection to the case. Yes, I did. As you're probably aware, Dr. John H. Wilson was a visiting professor at UMA. And it was I who invited him. Anyway, you're about to go into battle. The victim was a university professor from Great Britain, and a well-known one at that. Naturally, our government is looking to identify and punish the culprit as quickly as possible. Yes, and I'm sure the prosecution will be using every tool at their disposal to quash your case. but I've no doubt that you pair will put up a good fight, right to the last. Best of luck. Now then, I need you to run an errand at the university at once. There's something I think we may need. Oh, yeah. Of course! Good luck, Kazuma-sama! Defendant Naruhodo. Court recess is over. Please make your way back inside the courtroom at once. Oh, yeah. Yep. Excellent. Nice.
How long have I been muted on the stream? What button did I even hit?
Oh, wait, have you been muted this entire time?
Well, no, Jake. I think it just happened when I switched. I hope it was only when I saved.
Have you already closed out of the street, out of, like, Twitch?
No. Jay, please tell me that I haven't been muted for that long. I think it was only for this conversation. I think
okay.
I hit the wrong button. Okay, whatever. So anyway, what I was saying is we're gonna do this again on Wednesday. Only a few minutes. Okay, God, if I had been muted on Twitch the whole time, I would have just fucking just turned off my computer and gone out to the country to be a monk or something. Yeah, so we're gonna be back with this on Wednesday, and then return to our Sunday schedule, I assume. And I'll also be casting StarCraft again on Thursday. I'm just gonna get out of here before I screw something else up. So goodbye.